we need to hold our leaders accountable.
I love it.
The reason we have the problems we have in society is because of our leaders. See, truth is, Oji.
Yeah.
I tweeted something yesterday. I said over 50% of your prayer point in Nigeria is because of bad leadership. If leadership worked,
right,
you would not be praying for power. You will not be praying for things. Over 50% of your prayer point is because of bad leadership.
You know what I love? The fact that you're starting them young. I mean, I love to hear that debate. It was brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And you talked about the fact that, you know, they said their schools are deplorable.
Deplorable state.
Really, in the same vein, though, a journalist, filmmaker, and social media sensation, Dan Bello, took it upon himself to renovate a classroom at a government primary school in Kano State. Bello, who has uncovered various social and political stories in Nigeria, said that more than 50,000 government primary schools in the north are dilapidated. He renovated the classroom for free so that the students can study in a conducive environment. Please, can we applaud this young man? This is what we need to do. I mean, he said he spent about 4 million naira, but we can do it as well. But 50,000 schools in northern states, it's appalling, really. And I wanted to highlight this story, especially because it's in Kano State. And it also leads me to another story where we've seen an amateur video showing hundreds of young girls sitting idle in Kano State. Let's take a look.
These children are supposed to be in school. Look at it, part 2. Children that are supposed to be in school. This is Kano. This is Kano. Children, ladies, female children, young children, below the age of 10 years. Some of them are 3, 4 years. This is the children. The other one was part 1, that is for women. This is for children. Children that are supposed to be in school. Today is Friday. Today is Friday. All our children are in school. Look at it. Look at it. See children, they are even fighting. Look at it. They are even fighting. They are fighting.
I mean, this is our country, 64 years later. You know, the statistics, I mean, that has been bandied around is about 70% of out-of-school children are in the northern states. Something's got to give, Ayo.
Nigeria is home to one, if not the largest out-of-school children in the world. And this statistics has been on for many years and many administrations.
Yes.
But the truth is that when people or individuals go out of their way to fund projects like this, 4 million naira, we see receipts of a night out in town, in Lagos or Abuja, costing a lot more than 4 million naira. To be honest, it is the goodwill, the good gesture of individuals, private organizations coming together as active citizens to support the efforts of the government. But when we say that, then we then look at the government, which is primarily responsible as a result of the trust of, if we pay our taxes, certain things should work in the country.
That's it.
But we don't see that often. Instead, and that's why when we criticize things like putting 21 billion naira to build a house for the deputy governor, do you know how many schools that amount of money would build? Students continue, and that's why we keep talking about the resilience of Nigerians, not just the older people, even the younger people. Because if you see the conditions in which they are meant to learn and they come out or emerge as stars, especially when they go abroad, we need to really salute them. But I think this is a wake-up call for the Ministry of Education. We need to fix the infrastructure.
You said it right. A wake-up call for the Ministry of Education. I always say, Nigeria go survive. Let's continue on what's trending. The governor of Rivers State, Similaye Fubara, at a Thanksgiving service organized as part of activities marking the 64th Independence Day celebration of Nigeria on Sunday, gave an account of his first year in office, saying that in just 1 year he has done more for the people of Rivers State than what his predecessor did in 8 years. Fubara, also in an apparent jibe at his political opponents, stated that he approved the construction of an ultra-modern hospital, which includes a psychiatric ward in Obiokpo, local government area of the state, because they will need it. Let's take a look.
It is Fubara that has awarded Trans-Calabari Road that they couldn't do. They did only a bridge from Krakrama. I am the one doing it. 225 billion. I didn't borrow. It is this same Fubara that is building a general hospital which I also included a psychiatric hospital because they will need it very soon in their place. So tell them, what I have done in 1 year is what they did. Like I said, let them make me talk. Let them make me talk. It's only empty container that makes noise. If God has given you opportunity, eat your thing and keep quiet.
We want you to talk, Fubara. Well, yes, Wike, just a day before Fubara gave that speech, said that none of his political opponents can fight him. Wike was speaking during a reception organized in his honor by the Igbo People's Congress in Port Harcourt, River State. Wike was also boasted that he is too big for anybody to fight him, no matter how highly placed they are. Let's take a look.
We don't have integrity. Don't ever you think that they are fighting me. They're not fighting me. I'm too big. I'm too big. I'm too big. If you don't recognize somebody who is bigger than you, then you know you are sick. I'm far, 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 far. All of them put together, they cannot stand it. When people said they will put hand here, I told them, if you come here and put hand, something hand to go enter a one place. Not so. Now they cry. They cry now. They cry.
They cry. I was hoping you would sing that. I see they pain them. You go to sweet us. I see they pain us.
You go to pain them. I see they pain them. You go to sweet us.
Well, you know, before I come to you, Dr. Vati, still at that event, in the same vein, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lokpobori, during that event organized by the Igbo People's Congress in honor of Wike, said that the FCT minister facilitated his appointment. Let's take a look before we come back for a discussion.
Me that is standing here today as Minister of State Petroleum Resources and Oil is also made possible by Yeso Wike. Some of you may not know my journey, my second journey of becoming minister started in the house of the FCT minister in Port Harcourt, and it was concluded in his house in Abuja.
All right, Dr. Vati, the Nigerian way. Go ahead.
It's very good to see Governor Fubara regaining his composure.
Yeah.
You know, being very confident and at every turn asserting himself. Initially, when the fight between him and Minister Wike started, he was so, you know, meek and so, you know, respectful. But now, you know, he has gained confidence.
Yes.
And I think that will inspire many of his supporters too. One of the things he said is that if people are saying that he should give his liver and kidney so as to show loyalty, that he will not give liver and kidney, that he will just do what is right for the people of River State, and he will stand by the path of justice. And if the wahala is too much, he would rather go back home to stay with his wife. So that confidence is very interesting. However, we see now that the entertainment from River State is unending. On Saturday, Wike was at that event where they had a reception for him, purportedly by the people of Fubara's Igbo ethnic extraction, who even thanked him for making their son governor. Wike also said at that event that in fact many of his projects are being claimed by Fubara, and in any case, Fubara the following day had the opportunity to talk back at his former benefactor. And it was in that context that he was now saying, in fact, he has initiated the building of a modern, multi-complex psychiatric hospital in Obio Akpo local government area, which is where Wike comes from. Yeah. And he says they will need it very soon. Well, we may just ask the question, who does Governor Fubara intend to send to that psychiatric hospital that he was speaking with such certainty?
And he was announcing it in church.
That the people of Obio Akpo will need it very soon. Yeah. I don't think that people of Obio Akpo will pray that any of their children should end up in a psychiatric hospital. But this is politics in Rivers State, and I think that the bottom line is that the bigger interest should be interest of the people of Rivers. No matter how entertaining this Fubara versus Wike tango may appear to be.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. You know, Lokobori's story too. I mean, it was kind of trending. It was viral because it was that type of conversation. We had Senator Adam Soshomole on the Sunday morning show yesterday, and you know, we started off by asking him if he was, you know, now the godfather of those states, which he clearly debunked. But this is what happens in Nigeria. The minister says Wike made him minister.
Ha.
Naso.
It's not able to do Anyway,
Naso.
In all reality, you have people influencing things,
right,
you know, for people. And probably because it was from that zone, Wike might have also, you know, had a hand in the influence on all of this. But what is most important is this. There's no problem with influencing. But do we influence people with the best capacity possible?
That's the point.
So, because if what he's saying is that Wike can influence, so if Wike can influence, then Wike can also influence someone that has no capacity to be able to get up there. And obviously, you now start to have IOUs towards the person that influenced you. Just like how the Igbo people are not thanking Wike for making their son a governor. The truth is it Igbo, is it Wike that made his son a governor? So the Rivers people didn't play any role in all of this.
Right.
You can see what is wrong with democracy. So, for those that argue against regional government, like it was in my debate in school, if you give people like these leaders that we have regional power, say, okay, one man is the head of all the region.
Right.
He's going to become God. That's just it.
Yeah.
So it goes back to values and the character of the politician and the need to bring up strong institutions.
Absolutely.
Because it just also goes back to the regional argument. We have seen the roles of people who have played in Lagos politics. If you now give them all the Southwest region, then we become God.
Right.
In fact, if we don't have regional government, we saw the role they played in influencing the whole of Southwest. If you now give them that power. But also, it is about how we can make these politicians accountable. See, let us correct that notion. No man makes the other man.
Absolutely. How we can make
That's just it.
Politicians accountable.
You know the contrast between Senator Heineken Lokobiri and Governor Fubara. This is Senator Heineken Lokobiri coming into the open to say Wike is the godfather. And then you have Fubara saying he will take a psychiatric hospital to Wike's village.
That contrast is completely...
Yeah, it's the contrast.
What you're asking for, this liver and kidney. And I was going to ask to define the liver and kidney because we know how godfathers can sometimes become so high-handed. And they're asking for the impossible. They don't want to be, they want to just make the governor the stooge. And so that's the liver and kidney they're talking about. You can help someone, but don't do it in such a way that
how to make
until we make the people that vote in elections the godfather, and the people must be respected.
The people are the godfather.
The people must be the godfather. If you keep having this political,
cannot give Wike liver and kidney. Let him give maybe one kidney. After all, every human being has 2 kidneys.
All right, talking about holding our people accountable, let us just move on to this. Let's move on to this, actually. Well, Senator representing Borno South Senatorial District, Ali Ndume, has said that corruption is rife in Nigeria because politicians who steal money are celebrated for doing so. The senator spoke in Kano on Sunday during an interactive session with journalists, adding that in developed nations, people question the source of one's wealth, but in Nigeria, you are venerated for flaunting ill-gotten wealth. I mean, I needed this to sink in because Ali Ndume just made the right point there, and I want to tie it in with the story. I mean, as Onga wrapped up last week. President Joe Biden delivered his farewell address to world leaders at the United Nations General Assembly. He took a moment near the end of his speech to reflect on his decision to end his campaign, saying that as much as he loved the job of being president, he loved his country more.
I made the preservation of democracy the central cause of my presidency. This summer, I faced a decision whether to seek a second term as president. It was a difficult decision. Being president has been the honor of my life. There's so much more I want to get done. As much as I love the job, I love my country more. I decided after 50 years of public service, it's time for a new generation of leadership to take my nation forward. My fellow leaders, let us never forget, some things are more important than staying in power. It's your people.
Let this sink in. I thought it was an important soundbite to play for our Nigerian leaders. I believe they were even saying South African leaders were not even smiling during that last sentence he made. But I think that is such a valid point that he made. Before I come to you, let me take this one. There was a hilarious moment at Onga when Haiti's transitional leader, Edgar Fils, had to pause his speech to drink water from a jug. Let's take a look.
Respect. Respect for its dignity and its right to a dignified and prosperous existence. I thank you for your attention.
Je remercie.
Comments that trailed this was hilarious. People were asking, didn't they have a cup for him? Why would they have? But there was a cup for me. What did it signify? He was quite nervous. I mean, there was a lot to deal with in Haiti.
Yes, people may have been laughing at, you know, what Fils, that's his name, the man who filled the gap when, you know, there was crisis in Haiti. Yeah. But the situation in Haiti is not funny at all. That's a country that has been taken over by gangs, you know, and by violence, with Kenya leading the multinational support security services in that country. I think the international community, you know, should pay attention to what is happening in Haiti, because Haiti looks like a neglected part of the world. As to what President Biden was saying in his valedictory speech at the Onga, well, he made a point that the politicians present should always remember that the people are more important. And this is the point that we've been making in River State, that the people of River State are more important than Wike, they are more important than Fubara. Finally, what Senator Aline Dume was saying, this is the thing we've been saying about values. Nigeria is a country where values have failed. This is a country where you will see a man in January. By June, he already has houses in Banana Island. He has a retinue of exotic cars. And nobody will ask. Even his family will say, oh, we thank God, God has favored our child. They will not ask questions.
We need to rejig our value system.
You know, young girls, young boys, they are into yahoo. Their parents no longer ask questions.
Right. We need to rejig our value system.
All those of you seeking a new constitution for Nigeria, all those of you that have complained that the problem of Nigeria now can be traced to the 1999 constitution, and that the only way Nigeria will progress is if we got a new constitution. You need to hear this. All those of you who think that what Nigeria needs is to divide Nigeria, you also need to hear this. All those of you who think that the solution to Nigeria is marginalization, to solve marginalization and all that, whatever it is that you think the problem is, you need to hear this. Now, constitutional review. Why I don't support federalism system for Nigeria. That's according to Senator Ndume. This is the same constitution that many people have argued over and again is the problem or the reason for the problems that Nigerians are facing today. They are talking about restructuring. They are talking about true federalism. They're talking about devolution of powers. In fact, some people are talking about just divide Nigeria. Let everybody go their separate ways. In all of these solutions that we propose, they cannot be achieved. And the reason is because of this. Senator Ali Ndume is a ranking senator in the National Assembly. He's been there since like 1999. Ranking senator. If a Senator Ndume will come out and say something like this, then why would we think that the people in charge of this current system will give us a new constitution? They won't. It will be madness to expect that they will give us a different result when we continue to rely and depend on them for that result. They cannot. We need to change the people that are in charge of the system before anything meaningful can happen. Many people have argued, and I might add, rightly so, that the Constitution of Nigeria is a problem. But who will give you the new constitution? The current people that are there now, they are ready to roll out the tanks, roll out the military, the police, to resist whoever wants to do it violently if you think it's revolution you want to use. And they are ready to use the court to stop whoever wants to make or force them to do this. The only way we get a change is to change the people in charge of the system. Those of you calling for divide Nigeria, who is going to divide Nigeria? The Oduduwa Republic people, the IPOB or the Biafra people? Who is going to divide Nigeria and give it to you? When the people that are in charge of it are benefiting from it. We can scream all we want. These people, from their statements, from their action, will continue to do what they have been doing before. They will not change. Why? They benefit from it. So if you and I want a better country, we need to change our approach. We need to organize. We need to match them and surpass them intellectually. We cannot tackle it with brute force because we cannot match them force by force or force for force. We cannot. We don't have access to the ammunitions they have access to. And besides, even if for some stroke of luck, we have such ammunitions, because the external enemies of Nigeria want to give us weapons so we can fight and kill ourselves. Even if we have those weapons, by the time we engage in this violent revolution, like some people are calling for, what will happen is that lives will be lost on both sides. And at the end of the day, we will still be back to square one. To change the results that we are getting in Nigeria, we need to change our approach. And that's why what is scrolling below now is extremely important. It's the Abundance Party of Nigeria. It is a party that we want you to join us to create so that we can open up the political space so that you and I and every well-meaning Nigerians with integrity that are not money bags can participate in the process. The way the process is right now, across all of the political parties, the 19 of them, only money bags can participate to run for election or run for election positions. Only money bags. Only people who have benefited directly or indirectly can participate. And it's because it is money politics that are being played across the political parties. This is an opportunity for you and I to change that. Whatever it is that is your end goal, you need to come and join forces with us. If you want Nigeria to divide, you can't get it from these people. These people, they will roll out the tanks against you. They are already doing it. They have done it successfully against Nnamdi Kanu. Now they have illegally held on to Nnamdi Kanu for no reason. Before we said it was a Fulani agenda and a Fulanization agenda when it was Buhari. Now Buhari is no longer there. And you have a Yoruba man now that has no reason to hold on to Nnamdi Kanu except for political reasons to benefit him, because right now, so long as Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, Simon Ekpa is running the show, and Simon Ekpa is helping, whether he knows it or he does not know it, is helping Tinubu to divide the Southeast because he's
calling on them not to participate in elections, and because of actions of people like Simon Ekpa, Igbos did not turn out en masse in the last elections, which could have made Peter Obi president now. Out of 10.4, 10.5 million Igbos that collected PVC, we're not talking about the 12 million that registered, the 10.5 million that collected PVC, only 1.6 million people came out to vote. Only 1.6 million people came out to vote. In fact, far less than 1.6. And it's because of activities of people like Simon Ekpa calling for sit at home during the elections. And then people being afraid because they don't want to lose their lives. So the only reason that somebody like Tinubu will have for holding on to Nnamdi Kanu is because of activities of persons like Simon Ekpa that favors him, that results in voter apathy. Because do you not know that if Nnamdi Kanu is released today, activities of persons like Simon Ekpa will not work? And from what we hear Nnamdi Kanu say, Nnamdi Kanu can control IPOB in such a way that it becomes constructive and it will stand a better chance to achieve the Biafran agenda better than the way Simon Ekpa is running it now. Tinubu knows this. And that's why he's holding on to Nnamdi Kanu. So if we are going to achieve whatever your goals are, those who want a new constitution, you think this Tinubu's APC and the Tinubu National Assembly will give you, you have a ranking senator already telling you no to federalism, no to restructuring, no to devolution of power. He's already telling you. You think these people will give it to you? You think they will give you a referendum? They will not. We need to change the people in charge of the system right now. We need to change them. And we can do it. We can counter their electoral violence at polling units using thugs. We can counter their election rigging using INEC officials. We can counter their election unit by rigging strategies by compromising security agencies. We can counter it. We can counter it at the Supreme Court, up to the Supreme Court in court. We can counter it. All we need is a political party that is structured to achieve this. And you and I can organize to start this new political party. I want you to join us. Let us form this new political party. It is the only way we can get these kind of people out. It is the only way. Anything short of this, it will be doing the same thing and expecting a different result. These people are enjoying the system. They don't care that fuel is now selling for 1,500 in their own southeast or in their own north or in their own southwest or southside. They don't care. They don't care that the cost of food items is skyrocketing. They don't care. They don't care that you are protesting. The October 1 protest, it's not going to work. Already, court orders are coming out already, restricting people to certain locations. When it is not jamboree or concert that we want to hold, protests will not solve it. The only way to do it is to come strategically. It is unfortunate that people like Showore are now saying election cannot save Nigeria. It can. It is our approach to it that has been faulty. It's the lazy approach we have been applying. It is time for us to apply the strategic, tactical approach that we curtail whatever rigging strategies that the APC or the PDP might have. And we can only do it by coming together and forming a new political party. We want you to join us. Click the link in the description and join us. Let us take this country back from the hands of the people that are currently holding it to ransom. We can do it too. Don't let anybody tell you we cannot do it. Many people are driving the narrative now that, oh, leave Tinubu, he knows how to rig. Leave him till 2031. That 2027, nothing can happen. And it's unfortunate that even people like very dark man are pushing this kind of narrative. Look, the truth be told, it's the lion and the buffalo scenario. We'll delve into it deeper later. But if you understand the lion and the buffalo scenario very well, you will see that we can send Tinubu packing from Aso Rock Villa in 2027 through the ballot. We can do it. We can do it. Don't forget that the PDP, they boasted more than what the APC is doing now. They boasted more. In fact, the PDP, many people say, are the ones that taught APC to rig. And if you look at it, it is true. Because majority of the people in the APC right now came from the PDP. And yet, with all the rigging skills that the PDP had, and after boasting that they will be in power for 50 years, they could only manage 16 years. And the APC got in. Unfortunately, the people rallied behind the wrong sets of people in 2015 to push out the PDP. Now the people need to rally and rally behind themselves to take back this country from the APC and give it to people with integrity, people with passion for Nigeria, not people with passion for their pockets like we see in the current APC administration. We can do it. We can do it. All we need to do is work together. I want to appeal to you one last time. Please click the link in the description and join us. We will take back this country. This country will work in our lifetime.